Yo, what up, peoples? It's your boy Rob,
It's your boy Ricardo.
and this is another episode of Ask the Gents. It's been a long, long hiatus, but we was getting a few messages saying come back, do a few questions. So we put some messages on the Facebook page a little earlier, and we're just gonna try to answer these. Can't even say they questions. A lot of them was just statements, but we're gonna just try to elaborate on the best way we could. So, you want to take the first one?
Yeah. First one. Why are people so judgmental of other people's relationships? Well, everybody's gonna always have an opinion, which is just an opinion. Um, if they ain't doing nothing for you or a relationship, then pay them no mind. I mean, like they say, what they eat don't make you shit. Excuse my French, but it's real. If you love somebody or you like somebody and y'all rocking and y'all both have the same mutual feelings, then put yourself in that box and your family members or your close friends, that only person that should know. Everybody else doesn't even matter. Um,
Basically,
I mean, don't get me wrong. If one of your close friends is telling you like, "Oh, it ain't cool," like trying to help you out, then you should listen. But if it's just on some hating stuff or trying to downgrade the person because they don't like them or they don't like them with you for no apparent reason, they can't give you a good reason, then it's whatever.
just
You
a
know,
hater.
do you. Y'all do y'all, and don't worry about being judged. It's not a competition on we a good couple over here. Oh, you shouldn't be with that person. Blah blah blah. Just do you and make it happen.
Yeah, I think that people are just judgmental by nature. Like I see a female, and she might be attractive, and she may have held off on talking to a dude, and then you see the dude she finally end up with, and you just looking like, really? Out of all them dudes, that's the one you end up with, and he usually the dude ain't got nothing going for him. He he gonna be driving your car and dropping you off at work. He use you buying his Xbox, and yeah. So people gonna say something when they know you can be doing better than that. And then you have certain people that just you gotta when it comes to female, you gotta question people's motives. She could be telling you who ain't this and he ain't that, but behind the scenes could be trying to get with him on the low, or she could have liked him first. So you really gotta question people's motives, especially when it comes to female. No, I can't say that. Guys is scandalous too. So yeah, but at the
Yeah,
end of the day,
females are sneaky.
true
They're sneaky.
story. And while we on that subject, let's just touch on that. Y'all mess it up because y'all want to tell your girlfriend the details about what he do, how he put it down. She might have been curious, but you just took that to a whole nother level. Cause you didn't told her everything he do, all the good stuff, all the everything, and you didn't create something in her mind where she curious. So the moment you break up, she might be playing it off to the side for a little bit, but on the low, she might want to see what you was talking about. So you got to be kind of careful how much information you divulge with your girls about your man. Some stuff you got to just keep private. Long story short, but yeah, just to go back to the subject, people are judgmental, but at the end of the day, y'all relationship is y'all relationship. Y'all gonna have different highs and different lows. Sometimes love and relationships can make you look stupid, and sometimes you got to go through the bad stuff to get to the good stuff. So be careful how many people you have in your business, and you can't listen to everybody advice because everybody don't want to see you win.
Right.
And that's all I got to say on that subject.
Yeah. Just to add, like I said, it's just about y'all two. You two. You got your little box. You two in it. Everybody else, kind of just block them off. Boom, boom, boom.
Right. And don't listen to your homegirl who can't keep a dude. She
Sheesh.
bitter and she been trying to get her wing woman back for like 5 years now. Like, let that go. Like, don't listen to her. Keisha ain't got best interest. She lonely. She don't got nobody. She watch
Wing
Netflix all
woman.
day. She tired of sitting in the house on sweats. She wants y'all to go out and drink and turn up, and she need her wing woman back. Keisha is not a credible source. Keisha ain't never been good with men. Why are you listening to Keisha? She gonna say everything you want to hear because y'all in a bitter mood because you knew better and you got with him and he nah. So
Right.
yeah, make sure the person you're listening. to is credible. At least if, even if they're not in a relationship, make sure they have some sort of wisdom, logic. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah. Next.
So I think I got the next one. Lustfully in love. Distinguish between lust and love. Nowadays, it kind of seems like the lines is blurred depending on who you ask. I think so many relationships nowadays start off on a lustful side. I can say I think for me, if I were on the dating scene, air quotes, I would think it would probably be best to kind of hold off on certain things so you can truly get to know a person. Because once you cross a certain boundary, everything is really just a countdown till you do it again. All the meals, all the hanging out, all the conversation, it's just filling up time until you get back to doing what y'all was doing before. So the difference between lust, you can mess around with someone and have feelings and connection and feel like you're in love, but it's really just a sexual, physical attraction. Love is more so sacrificial. It's not solely based on your physical desires and needs. It's just like you want to see that person win, you want to see that person succeed. Their well-being starts to take precedence over a lot of things. So I feel I don't know. It is hard in I guess our society today to determine the difference between lust and love, but love has a little bit more substance. Love is a little bit more patient. Love is a little bit more forgiving and understanding. Lustful is just like
Amen.
you get to acting stupid. Like, I'm out of here. That's 86 and I'm on to something next. I'm on to the next one because it's easier for me to connect with the next one because it's lust driven. Now, if there's a love connection, it's a little bit more patient. You're a little bit more understanding, a little bit more willing to go through some things and talk things out. And yeah, you want
Sometimes that lust you think is love, but it just emotional attachment because, of course, when people continue to have sex over and over and over again, then you start to create emotions and you get attached and you think it's love, but you really just attached to that lust, that sex. You know,
territorial.
y'all don't even really hang out or do nothing. It's just like a, all right, peace. But after a while, you start getting, those emotions, and you might see her or him with somebody else, knowing that it's just a sexual thing, and you know, you get pissed off now. Now you're all mad and trying to, you know, cause arguments when the lust is basically what you sought out in the first place. So really, it's kind of like that little 90-day rule thing. You gotta wait. I mean, some sometimes you might not want to, but
Right? Like 3 months, like 30, 60, 90.
yeah, like hey, I mean, y'all always want to, y'all want to know the answers. You know what I'm saying? I don't got all the answers, Sway.
Right.
But I'm saying
I got
if
the
you really want
answer,
to
Sway.
know, then wait. I mean, we all grown, so if that's what you lust for, you lust for it. But hey, you gotta deal with the consequences and repercussions of that.
Yeah, I would agree that sometimes it is best to wait so you can actually see if y'all have something more than physical sexual attachment. Figure out what their outlook is on life, where they want to go, if they want to have children, and if when they want to get married, do they have aspirations and dreams, or how do y'all mesh? Get to know their family a little bit. Like it's so easy to stay in that bubble when y'all hanging out in a 1 to 2 hour span. You come through, she come through, y'all hang out and mess around, and everything exists in that small bubble. You don't take everything outside of that, your life, your job, his family, his situation, or whatever. Like, get to actually know a person because sex, that's really just the easy part.
All
And
right.
you can really do that with anybody, but you can't build with everybody. You can't have a successful relationship with everybody. You can't communicate with everybody. You can't trust everybody. You can't commit to everybody. So yeah, it's definitely better to get to know a person.
Lust brings hurt, pain, diseases.
Lust is irrational.
Man,
It is it is driven. on a totally different level than logic. But yeah,
Love's good though.
true
If you
story.
get it, then hold on to it, make it happen. Because everybody at the age where you need to settle down, son. Ain't nothing out there in them streets.
I don't know why my webcam just went all blurry like that.
Because we talking about blurred, blurred subject.
And we're back. Okay, you want to take the next one? I think somebody just sent one through the page, actually.
Yeah, hold on once again.
That's the one that just came through.
Hmm.
I don't know. Unless you
Not
want.
bad. I do it. Is there ever a time that you should give up on love? Hmm.
So, sir, we're answering this question in real time. You sent that 3 minutes ago.
Right.
Fast response.
Hey, man. Yes. I mean,
Definitely.
yeah. I mean, you can love or make you go crazy. Um, if you're trying your hardest and you putting your 110% in, and I mean, it's simple. If you're not getting that back at all, then it's kind of like you gotta just let go, and that's the hardest thing to do. Hardest thing to do is when you really love somebody, it's hella hard to let go. I mean, like, it's like stabbing yourself 24/7 because you might delete the number, you know, unfriend them on every social site possible. But then also you got other people that's telling you about their whereabouts or doing something. Then you wind up always thinking about them and going to your friends' page and checking on them or something like that. Just a whole bunch of bullshit. But I mean, if they're not feeling you the way you feel them, then you gotta let go. Um, I don't think it's a balance when it comes to love. Yeah, it's never going to be equal. It's always going to be somebody that loves more than the other. You know, I mean, if both of y'all over 100%, then it doesn't matter. You might be 110, she might be 120, or vice versa. But if it's like you putting in like 100% and then the other person's putting in 50%, what's the point? You keep trying and giving chances only to hurt yourself, only to distance you away from the fact of loving or being in love with someone.
Yeah. I think when it comes to love, love isn't logical at all. And oftentimes the brain knows what the heart doesn't want to accept. Mentally, you can know when something ain't right. You can know all the signs is there, all the red flags is there, but a hopeful heart will hold on. It's just it's your feelings versus logic. And oftentimes logic gets distorted. Like in relationship, you'll find yourself saying on the outside looking in, looking at somebody with other relationship, you be like, I wouldn't go through this, I won't do that, I'll be damned if I'm this. And then you get in a relationship and you find yourself doing stuff you said you normally wouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
But then it gets to a point where love isn't enough. Having children isn't enough. Time in and all 5, 10, 20, however long you've been together, we hold on based upon all these different variables, and we try to oftentimes we're going forward in the future living in the past. We're trying to get back to that sweet spot in the relationship, and we're holding on to the relationship in memory when the reality of the relationship is it's not the same no more. And you're trying to get back to that place, but you're getting further and further away because time is still going on. You're not happy, the other person isn't happy, or maybe you just got bored, you got tired, or you got older. With maturity, you can change as an individual. All the stuff that used to attract you to a person and all the stuff you used to be into, one day you wake up, you're like, I'm grown as shit now. I don't like this no more. And that person didn't grow and you did. Now you've outgrown that person, but you don't know how to leave because y'all got time and y'all got history. So they've stagnated and you've somewhat evolved. So there's different variables to just I mean, I don't know. It's hard not to just walk away at times because like I said, there's time in, there's some people have kids, some people just hope they can go backwards in a relationship.
That was very on point right there. Most people they just get content.
Exactly.
With that time, you've been there for years, and you're like, well, you know, if it ain't broke, I ain't got to fix it. I'd rather deal with this than go out and meet somebody new or try to start
Exactly.
all over. People got that in their mind. You got to get over that.
They're
You know,
comfortable.
yeah, you got to get over that. I mean, yeah, it's hard to start over, but when you start over, it could be great. It might not be great, but it definitely ain't there. You know, it's definitely not there anymore. So, like you said, you know, some people mature, and as you get older, you see like, hey, I don't. You might love the person, but you're not in love with who they are and who you're more in love with who you become and
Hmm.
not in love with who they still are.
It's like
So,
people change. Situations change people, circumstances change people. And as
mhm,
the relationship goes on, you have all these different variables and dynamics that change the relationship. One minute it was just you and her. Then y'all had a kid, change the dynamic of your relationship. You started a career, change the dynamics of the relationship. She started a career, change the dynamics of a relationship. And oftentimes some people aren't able to adjust to change. You get used to certain things being a certain way. So when everything comes off center or changes, you just like, I want my relationship to be how it used to be. On a flip side of that, you have some people, they get so used to repetition and doing the same thing over and over, the other person get bored. It was like, everything you were doing, all that being surprising and romantic and spontaneous you was doing to win them. Once you got them, all of a sudden it just stopped. Like, I got you now. He ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. People get bored. Some people just like everything that you did to make me fall in love, you're no longer doing. So yeah,
yeah, you got to keep the relationship fresh. I mean,
never stop dating.
yeah, have a setup, like set time aside, like have a date night or something, like once a week, just, just to do some, shit. Go back and do some crazy stuff like you was in high school. Everybody did something when they was crazy, in high school. Bleachers,
Hmm.
cars,
No comment.
he knows.
I don't know nothing. I got cable. I've seen shows and movies.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, this is a kind of, I guess, a toss-up question. Why do people play the waiting game after they exchange phone numbers? People, uh, kids do that. Like, we grown. Like, if I like you, I'm trying to get this thing started as soon as possible. I'm trying to get conversation flowing. I'm trying to get to talking to you. But at the same time, you do have individuals where they don't want to seem too anxious and seem like I couldn't wait to hit you up. So they try to play it cool. They try to play it casual. Like, let me wait a couple hours. Let me wait a day or so I don't seem too needy. But I mean, I don't know. If I want to talk to you, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna text you. Then you got certain people just like, I ain't really asked you for your number. You kind of just threw it on me. Like, you gave it to me and I took it, but
Right.
I'm gonna use it. I'm probably not gonna use it right now because I don't really feel like talking right now. Yeah. So, and then there's certain people like they don't want to talk to you. They took the number. Yeah, and dude's a scammers because eventually he may use that number, but it's on that day when he going through all his contacts and he's just like, ain't nobody talk to. She don't text back. She got a dude now. She pregnant. Okay,
Oh shit.
let me hit her up. That's how dudes do stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. There's different reasons for the waiting game. I don't know if you want to touch on that.
You pretty much said it all. I mean, my thing is if you grown, shit, somebody give you a number you exchange, then use it. I mean, what you waiting for anyway?
Yeah, because I mean, at best, you give me your number. I'm a to start the conversation. I'm just gonna text you, hey, this is Rob. Here's my number. Feel free to hit me up whenever. Blah blah blah.
Right.
And that's pretty much that. Now, what you choose to do with that is whatever. Hey, how's your day? Hey, good morning or good night or just casual conversation. But if you ain't feeling like talking, and sometimes people take a number, but they prior situation ain't over yet, and I don't even
Go ahead.
women. mm,
Go ahead.
I'm
Touch on it.
Y'all do that a lot. If it ain't over, y'all ain't sure about it, y'all on a hiatus, y'all know y'all got a history of going back to each other, don't start writing new chapters when you ain't finished the last one. Because you're gonna bring a person in and they're gonna get used to you and they're gonna start talking to you and everything else. And then they're gonna start wondering why you have this period of time where you go MIA from time to time. Or you take
Right.
longer to respond. I'm like, where all the damn kissy face emojis go? Like you used to blow kissy lips and the little heart eye googly emojis. Now all of a sudden Tyrone is back in the picture. You don't where all the exclamation points go. Like your whole text game then changed up. So what I'm saying is sometimes they ain't hit you up yet because you ain't the first option. You may not even be the second option. You may be I'll hit you up when like the coast is clear or I'm extremely bored. Like I don't know. There's different reasons, but
I'm gonna add to that because there's another question, but I can add on to it. Um, Make sure your situation is over. Give yourself some time to heal from your last relationship. You know, you can't never use another person to get over the next relationship because it's not gonna work. I've said this plenty of times. You know, make sure you're over that person. You know, no other feelings like it's over, like you didn't try it, and it's done. Then you go out, start dating, get to know somebody. But when you know you still got one foot in, one foot out, are you doing a stringing a new person along?
right.
And that's gonna create more tension, more problems.
Yeah, I can speak from personal experience. I ain't been with my ex in some years, and I still ain't ready because yeah, the aftermath of that. So it does take time, and even when you think you're ready, you might get into this. Like at this point, when you're not ready, you're gonna have a lot of people that come along, and then eventually people may get hurt because they may require or want more from you than you're willing to give.
Right.
And all the stuff you're doing with them, eventually you may be able to handle it, but they may not be able to handle it. So yeah, it's definitely good to get yourself in a place where you're actually ready to do that. I've learned that you can't really have attractive friends.
Shit. I'm not even.
Should we just cut the tape? Like, just cut.
Peace. We out.
I'm not even
No,
gonna touch on that. But yeah,
all my friends ugly. All of them.
right. I need like if we ain't gonna talk, it'd be cool. I need a homegirl that look like Precious. So we ain't gotta worry about that. Like you are strictly the homie. We ain't crossing no boundaries. We ain't gonna catch no feelings. Precious. Macy
See,
Gray. Like I
that's that lustful stuff though. That's that eyes. You can
for
have a
visual.
friend that look good. Just know it's just your friend. Just
Right. I know. Don't
spend
get me
good
wrong. I
time.
have attractive friends where we won't cross that boundaries for
Yeah,
several reasons.
indeed,
Either
me
I
too.
know them, or they attractive but they ain't my type, or their ways, or we've been cool for so long it'd be
You don't want to
awkward to
cross that
cross
line.
certain boundaries.
Exactly.
So I mean that's possible.
Indeed.
But yeah,
This guy.
I'm this guy. Don't act like it's just
I'm putting it on you, man.
yeah, well, we
You
was
got it
gonna
over this way.
try to keep the video, but like most times, we're a little long-winded and we just be talking. So we just gonna end the video. This is another episode of the Ask the Gents. I'm Rob,
Ricardo.
and y'all have a good night, man.
Peace.